Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here. I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about the Shopify DROPIFY on August 30th, 2019. So this just happened last Friday. If you're watching it, around this time. But basically, before we get started here, just kind of pause the video and review the disclaimer here. So obviously, everything here is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. Okay. So real quick, what I want to talk about here is what's been happening with Shop. So Shop, I mean, there's no doubt about it. It is hot right now, right? It is, huge uptrend, right? This is the monthly chart for Shopify, right? So this has been going up since, really since 2019. I mean, it's just been incredible. I mean, really before that it was kind of flat, and then it just started to take off in 2019, right? I mean, earnings, right, have been, I guess reasonably good, right? Better than expected at least. And and the funny thing is that it's really not an amazing really company. I mean, people are calling it the Amazon of websites, but it's just hot. I mean, it's just gained the favor with the market, and it is really becoming a good stock to trade. And so you can see that it's just been incredible since 2019. So it's gotten a little bit extended, right? The monthly chart's been over the upper Bollinger Band for a while, right? And so obviously in general we don't want to fight the trend, but we can find tactical setups to find shorts, right? And that's what we did right this week. And so so that just kind of shows you here the monthly chart. So it's important to look at all these time frames, right? The weekly chart, right? Again, it's been holding the level of the upper Bollinger Band, right? Look, RSI. Look, anybody who tries to short on high RSI, right, has been having to do that since April, right? This thing's been overbought for a while. So this is proof that just because something is overbought doesn't mean that it's done, right? Even here, you had some some divergence here, right, on the RSI, and it still kept going up, right? So so what made us think about shorting this on Friday? Let's take a look. What it comes down to is the daily chart. So we get little setups right here, okay? So first of all, on the daily chart, it is the first time it got, first time in a while it's gotten overextended here on the RSI, over 70. But the key is what we like to look at is we like to look at price action, right? Because price really is the thing that determines all this stuff anyway. These are just fun little tools, moving average, Bollinger Bands, things like that, just to kind of give some perspective. But it really comes down to what price is doing. And what does price like to do? It likes to discover levels, and it likes to take former levels, especially on larger time frames, and explore or take them out, right? That's why we have movement, right? A breakout above certain levels continues movement, right? That's just the definition of movement, right? It's like if you put one step above another, right, you're going to continue to move. And so so very interesting stuff here with Shop. And so what we had here is an open gap, right? Basically from the August 20th, 2019 to the August 21st, 2019. So that is anytime you see a gap on a chart, especially an open gap, right? There's the closing gap too from where we closed. But for the most part, when you see those, right, you have to kind of look for those are magnets, right? These are price wants to at least have some continuity, and really the point is that that's another key level right there, right? That's very, very important, for levels to be tested. And so that was here. Of course, recently we had this open gap right here, and this is where things started to break down when this gap was here. Okay, so we had this was basically the shot across the bow right here. And what it did is it took this upward trend line. So if you've had an opportunity if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you've checked out the playlists, if you go to the 3-minute technical analysis videos, you'll see the, I think probably one of the best videos on trend lines is the 3-minute video on trend line secrets. And this right here is something that we've been looking at, right? And I tweeted out in the game plan recently, the public game plan, so everybody can see what, what I'm looking at is, and we talked about this on the live stream too Thursday night as well. So on the free YouTube live stream. So really, really good stuff right here. And so we had the first breakdown of this upward trend line, right? Now this is not really showing perfectly. It should be touching here and here. And I can adjust. For some reason, Thinkorswim likes to adjust that, but let me just kind of click that there and click that there. Okay, so there you go. So now it's kind of touching, right? This is how, so this is your minor pivot below the upward trend line, right? Okay, and then so what else did it do? So that was the first kind of big red day. We've had a couple shots across the bow here, but this is the first one, right? This is your minor pivot trend line breakdown, okay? And so, so then what did we get on Thursday? A red inside day. Okay, so definitely go back and review the inside bars and how important they are. But this shows indecision in price, right? It was also a red inside day, which kind of says, okay, maybe I'm kind of leaning to the downside, right? So which means that if we break this inside day low, we could take out this level and then possibly push farther. Now, Shopify is a hot moving stock, and so it can move, right? Well, it's a high beta, and so what happens is, if we could break that down, that would be a reasonable target right here. So you can see what I've done is I've drawn the inside day down level right here, so we can keep an eye on that. This is a prior gap and go level when it gapped up recently, right? Because anytime they got to all-time highs, you got to look for a move like that. So that level's still up there, and it's something to be considered. And then what we do is we put the levels here and here on the candle where we gapped, right? Because this is an important level, okay? So it is difficult, right? So it's, I've seen some funny tweets out there with, what I have like 10 monitors. I'm still not getting it. Well, you don't need 10 monitors, right? You just need to be able to put these levels down and then trade on the time frame that you like to trade on the most. So one of our favorite time frames, right? Of course, we like the hourly time frame, but if we look at the 5-minute time frame here, okay? So here we are. So on the 5-minute time frame on Friday, we can kind of see what happens with these levels here, right? And we also like to use the Ichimoku cloud. It's we don't use, I've done a video on, some of the advanced strategies of it and, the different meanings of all the terms. But in general, the cloud itself is a really nice tool, especially on the 5-minute chart here. And so you can see we had a cloud cover right here, and it was a little bit bearish. And so the entire market, so what kind of else kept us thinking that this might be a short, right? What else kept us thinking this might be a short? Everything gapped up high on Friday. Everything. Really high, like above the prior day's high, right? Now SHOP gapped up with the rest of the market, but it got nowhere close to its prior day's high. So it couldn't get over the prior high of the day, right? So it just gapped up a little bit, right? So it was just kind of up with the market a little bit, which kind of kept it on the radar. And look, it couldn't even get over the pre-market cloud here. So if we step through this, that first bar right there, it was huge, right? That was a big bar saying, hey, this inside day, the prior day's lows, is now being tested, right? And it's being tested with some authority, right? There's a big red bar through that line. Okay, so let's take a look at the next bar right here. Okay, at this point it says, okay, let me check it again, see if it's something that I want to do, right? And we'll go from there, that type of thing, right? So we had an inside bar right here. Is also Harami, right? So the real body was contained by this real body. Okay, so it was a green bar. It's saying, okay, let me try, see if I can get over that. And then it did try, but look what it did. It put in a topping tail, put in a shooting star there right below the cloud. So at this point, we are really thinking short right here. And then it gives us, one more shot at that level. And in fact, this is actually a good area to go short right here. And then it gave us one more red bar saying, I don't think I can hold on to this inside day level anymore. And then it started the descent, right? So somewhere in here, either here, right? Or even here, right? Is a place for an entry, right? We look at those, we take those with options. It's a little bit trickier. Well, it's up to everybody, right? Whatever your risk thresholds are. But we look at these with options, and the options are incredible on this. So anyway, look at that. Did a fractal level right here showing, nope, I don't even want to go back up there and test it. So you had another shooting star right here, okay? So these are just, and then the rest writes itself, right? So what's really interesting right here is that this held. This just gave a bear flag right here, and this was a prior significant level. It was a prior 60 anchor level for this, but in general, bear flag. Okay, so if it goes up 4 or 5 bars, then it's time to think that maybe there's a trend change. But at this point, we can see the bear flag, and then that broke down, and then it just continued the descent. There it goes right there. And then when we keep these on our radar, right, we don't need the daily charts up there because we have these levels up there, right? So we knew the gap fill line was here, and you'll see that when I zoom out a little bit. So that gap was filled, the closing gap was filled, went a little bit lower, and then it started to say, well, SHOP can move, right? So then it put in a hammer and said, let me retest that level again, let me check it, let me hang out there a little bit, let me work my way back up because I'm SHOP, and I can do this, right? So pretty amazing stuff. Right, these are the levels you want to keep in mind. So when you have your chart up all day and you've got this inside day level, you can see how the price behaves around there, especially when you have a cloud above it, and then, it's just kind of working its way down, and you have these as potential targets down here. So really, really good stuff. Just wanted to illustrate that to you so you can see how to catch a Shopify DROPIFY. Hope you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and if you're catching this after the fact, hope everybody has a blessed day, and thank you again for tuning in. Be sure to click subscribe, check us out on Twitter, and check out the descriptions too for other cool links. And I will talk to you guys soon. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.